Hi, welcome to One Word Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue our exploration in this month where we are diving into some popular three-character Chinese expressions. And today we're going to talk about 负能量. It's a Chinese translation of negative energy. And because 能 can mean multitudes of things. And so we have to pair it with another Chinese character, 量, energy value, together to pin down the meaning of this exactly 能 in this context means energy. I mean, simply in English is energy, but we have to pair it with another Chinese character to make it deterministic as this is energy. Otherwise, it's a fluid thing because most of the time, each Chinese character can mean different things. It has multifacets. So that's the fascinating part of it. And that's what I'm doing here, trying to explain to you the logic behind it, why we are putting these characters together and how it was made up of. Like each single character are made of so many symbols and how this 2D form of visuals represent such and such. Okay, let's begin from the first one, negative. Okay, negative came from this human figure symbol paired with seashell currency symbol. At one point in history, from the barter economy, right, people change goodies directly to there's an interface of currency in between. Seashells probably at some point was used because it was exotic enough or rare enough to carry a certain value, right? The value of seashells probably at the time wouldn't be inflated so easily because seashell production or access to seashells were limited. China only have one side of its, if it's a box, it's like 1/4, one side of its borderline has a coastline. Therefore, access to sea animals, seashells are limited. So the seashell circulation as a currency kind of stable. You're not going to have a pouring in of a ton of seashells all of a sudden. So I'm guessing that's why it serves as a currency back then. And then that becomes, because it used to serve as a currency from the seashell, well, the seashell is a visual representation of this kind of this panel with patterns, right? The two horizontal lines represent the patterns and the two little feet dangling. Actually, according to some scholars, that's the soft body. The animal resident within that seashell became like before the seashell became just shell itself. There's something living in there, and that's two legs. It's kind of in memory of the things, the life used to live inside the seashell. Okay. Then the side view human figure looked like this, sitting on top of money symbol. Humans connected to money, how it becomes negative. Okay, I don't really have a story right now here, except that originally this symbol, it doesn't mean negative. It means a person carrying currency with them. So it seems like an easy target of robbery, right? So this human carrying money on them are regarded, this currency carrying are regarded as eventually extended into the meaning of carrying, like holding something. And why holding becomes negative. If I have to imagine it, it would be whoever holding that money are going to, the money, the ownership of money are going to be in exchange for goodies, for merchandise. So money are going to be merchandised. You're going to spend that money into something else. So the money in your custody or in your holding are going to be diminished, are going negative, right? It's not increasing the ownership of the money because you're holding it, going somewhere to trade it with something, right? Some merchandise. So that's probably one way to say, besides it's the concept of holding money in the traditional, in this context, but it can also mean the money you're holding are going to be converted to something else. Therefore, it's going negative. It's reducing the volume. Okay, so that's fu. Neng came from this bear symbol with the net symbol. So net is easy to see, right? It's simply a space with crosses, and Chinese only use 2 of them to give you a whole visual of it's a network. It's a net, it's a physical net. And to capture some big animals, like a bear, it's totally like, it would overpower a single human, right? One bear with one human. I mean, who is the guy? Brad Pitt in The Legend of Fall. One person versus one bear. And I mean, the result could be positive or negative, right? Whoever killed the other animal, probably hard to tell. So bear capturing oftentimes didn't involve this direct physical conflict. It involves capturing, it involves net. So netting in the beast is the story here. And the bear, till today, I don't quite get it. Like, why the bear comes on 4 pieces? According to some, these are the 4 legs. And the bear, I mean, bear is a 3-dimensional thing, obviously. So 2 front legs, 2 back legs. And then this is probably, you can view it as the bicep of the bear, like the most muscular side, because I mean, bears are like all the other animals, so that's not 2 legs standing being. Their front arms is actually their legs as well, right? They're walking on 4 legs. So even if I call it a bicep, it's probably their thighs is the thickest, most muscular part of their body. And that symbolizes the muscle power right there. And this is a simplification of the head of the bear. I mean, by itself, it actually means a spoon, like a feeding soup. So it's the ancient times spoon look. So I'm not sure like why it converted into a bear's head. I'm not sure if the bear would be eating or consuming food as if it's taking from a spoon. I don't know. And in normally, Chinese character would capture an animal, like all the parts, body parts of that animal are connected because they are integral, inseparable part of one unit of a living thing. But I couldn't figure out why. When it comes to bear, it's 4 different parts piecing together to make the bear. It could be something else. Until I find that, I will let you know. But the overall story is capturing of the bear, probably representing the most muscular or meatier or hard to capture sort of muscle power. And then you have the net over there to control, to confine the bear. So this capturing muscle power then used to represent energy, because ancient times, the energy probably, I mean, there's no electricity, obviously. There's no windmill Holland way later, far away, right? So for Chinese, how to express energy is capture the muscle power. They're reasonable, right? And liang means quantity, means volume. And originally, it means measuring of the quantity and the volume. This measuring thing, we can almost visualize it as a scale, kind of a laboratory scale. And then this is kind of the cup of the scale. And this is the thing you're measuring. And the bottom is the stand of the scale. And with actually, that's the sun behind the scale. I don't exactly know why the sun has to be behind the scale. Too much to go into, but there are some mysteries of there because there's a similar concept called weight. Actually, dot connection right there. There is a similar concept of weight, but instead of having this, the top portion that looks like a scale is on top of it. It has a human person on top of it. And the whole story is, this is a tree symbol. And this is the root of the tree, the canopy of the tree, and this is the tree trunk. And the sun, the circle, the sphere with a horizontal line symbolizing the energy from that sphere. So energetic sphere is the sun. Behind the tree, signifying it's the early morning of the day. And then the bottom here is the soil. The first horizontal line is the ground, and the vertical line, of course, is tree or plant. And then the second horizontal line is an indicator to show. That's where we're talking about, which is below the root, which is the surrounding of the root, which is the soil that the root is growing from. So the soil with a tree, with the early morning signifier, right? The sun behind the tree, and then with a person on top of that tree. That actually means that farming activity in the early morning. And yeah, that used to, that symbol used to depict the weight. So I guess because farming in the early morning probably feels heavy working. Therefore, it has this concept of heavy coming from early morning, back-breaking farming activity. Now, when we know it relates to heaviness, to weight, and then it has this cup shape, which originally was the canopy of the tree. And with this, it looks like almost a second sun symbol, right? A sphere with a horizontal energy signifier in between. On top of it, that almost like, okay, if this relates to weight, then this is measuring the weight, because we have this scale, this cup thing, have something else, not this integral part. See, everything else is connected. Only this thing is a separate, it's not touching the cup. So that means it's a separate entity, and that thing is being weighed on. It's being measured how much weight it is. So therefore, this whole character, complicated looking character, means measuring the weight or volume of things. And from that measuring act, it becomes like to give you the value of something. So it's a quantification, measurement of the quantification of something. So energy value simply is the Chinese way to say the volume or the, gosh, I don't know what's the unit of measurement of energy, but 能量, this 量 means that unit of measurement with for energy. So together, that means the volume of energy. That's 能量. Okay, so negative volume of energy means negative energy. And I guess negative energy, I don't see it as a original Chinese concept. It got to be translated from the West. So when the West, either it's from physics or from psychotherapy, when talking about toxic energy or toxic person, and then this negative energy or spirituality, right? Something is weighing you down and it's not adding to your life, but instead it's reducing something from you. So that's considered negative energy. So I guess this is from the Western research, and then Chinese adopt this, and in response to such concept, translate as a 负能量, negative energy. And now this is with a tree kind of a flourishing, growing, all the positive concepts in there, that's positive energy. And then this side is the dying part of the tree, it's negative energy. So that by showing the result of what the negative energy can do to you, to a tree, as if making it smaller, shrinking and dying instead of a growing, living side, right? So this is how visually negative energy is represented here. And I just give you some example. 犹豫 means hesitation. 忧虑 means worry, and 犹豫 means hesitation. 坐视马步 means means you're not being accurate. You make a lot of errors, and procrastination. 易怒 means anger issue, 自私 selfish, 狭隘 close-minded, 找借口 finding excuses, 诋毁 means you're kind of pointing finger at others and blaming others. 哀怨 means you're sad and you're complaining. So you get it, right? That's grouped as the negative energy. And there we go. 负能量. Cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.